Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully, all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, World Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be testing the theory on is speed the key in World of Tanks Blitz to winning, because we are currently looking at the Tier 10 super duper heavy tank, the Mouse, which is the heaviest tank in the game, weighing in over at 188 tons. Not only is it extremely heavy, but it packs a punch, dealing 460 damage. Now, it does come with some drawbacks. The first drawback is penetration, only 258, and that's running calibrated very poor, and as well the premium is not necessarily the best at 327. However, it will cut through most weak spots as long as you are able to know where they are. Now the DPM as well, very poor at 235, dispersion at 0.344, not the best, and the aiming time at 4.3 seconds isn't great either. So the gun on this vehicle is meh. It's not great, but it's also not terrible. It just packs a punch and it does its job. It shoots the enemy when you need to shoot them. The thing about the Mouse that it's known for is the armor. As you can see, all of the numbers are pretty much 200. Even the sides of the Mouse are 185 millimeters thick. You don't mess with the armor on the Mouse, unless, of course, you got super high penetration heat shells coming off of an IS-4, or, of course, Tier 10 tank destroyers. But even then, a Mouse can tank over 4 to even 5 Tier 10 tank destroyer shots, and still sometimes be living on in the battle. Very, very impressive things. So, the thing that a lot of people always argue, and a lot of people, even in my clan, will say that speed is way more important than armor and damage. And this is a tank that kind of shifts that balance, because yes, while this tank can't carry all the games, when you're up against a Sheridan that's able to outspot you at the end of the game, you're not able to catch it, yes, you're probably not going to win, where a tank like the WZ-111-5A, one of my favorite tier 10s and vehicles in the game, where that tank's able to catch a tank like the Sheridan, it's able to, sometimes be able to outspot it if it's able to find it out in position. The difference is that a 5A in the end of game would be able to carry the battle way easier than Mouse. But usually in a Mouse, you're hoping that it doesn't get to the end of the game. You're usually hoping, well, yeah, I'm a Mouse, I'm supposed to spot the enemy tanks, I'm supposed to kill them. So what we're going to do here is try and use the tank to its abilities. We're going to see if we can maybe get some shots out. Ooh, almost getting a shell. In fact, that E100 did just back up. So there we go, one big ol' shell, and that E100 was able to just clip the edge of our turret, but even then able to do pretty good things for the tank so far. We were able to trade with that E100, and there's a big ol' shell right into that Jagdpanzer. So, while we necessarily haven't done the most of damage yet, we've already done 837, we're distracting the enemy E100, and you know what, we'll give him a big ol' tap. There you go, bounce is coming right onto the tank. There's one on the cheek. As you can see, that guy was not shooting premium rounds, which is fantastic for me, which means now we can once again, oh boy, I was gonna say shoot that E100, but he's already dead. So not only were we able to distract the tank already, but we got our 183 coming in hot and heavy, getting a big ol' slap into that poor tortoise. Let's get a finishing shell into him, and now we can move on the tanks. We got the 57 onto the side, but again, no problems, because we still have 1900 hit points left. I tanked an entire clip from a literal T57 heavy, and we are fine. That is the crazy thing about the Mouse. And let's, I want to give this guy a little old tap on the vehicle. No, ho, ho, ho. Come on, just give him a little tap. Yeah, there you go. That's what I wanted to do. So finishing off the Jagdpanzer 100 with just a little love tap, and that's the first game for you in the Mouse. We were able to just powerhouse our way straight through the enemy team. Now we got the 57 heavy once again, who, even if he clips me out, still cannot win this game. There you go, getting a bounce. And that's the crazy thing. We've blocked over 3,840 damage this battle, and hopefully, with a nice HE into the side of the T57 heavy for just a little bit more than our standard max roll, we've been able to just weigh the battle on our favor with the Mouse. And that's, of course, the things the Mouse is able to do using, oh my god, don't you love ammo racking enemy opponents, but using that high alpha damage, using the super strong armor this vehicle does carry, it changes the course of the battle very, very big for the tank. Again, there's another nice snap into the STB-1, and with that, that first game was 4,729 damage, also a couple rams, so probably about 5,000. Yeah, there you go, a 5,059 damage game, ramming the enemy to pieces. We literally did 300 damage alone on ramming. That was only 9 shells fired. Ammo racked, a very healthy T57 heavy for 1,000 hit points. Now, of course, that's not something that you normally expect, but you can see that a competent Mouse player, knowing what to do, when to push, can change the course of the battle massively. And that's, of course, why I do love this tank. And this is one of my favorite tier 10s, and will always be, is because it really shifts the balance of people's opinion. People will always say that running tanks, as I said before, running tanks with mobility will win the games. And yes, I can name a couple games where, like in this battle here, they've got a lot of mobile tanks, where the Sheridans would easily outflank and, just shoot missiles at the mouse and make it irrelevant. And of course, while that is true today, it will not be very true in 20 days or so when the new update comes out, which I am very, very excited for, of course. I do not want to deal with Sheridans anymore on my poor mouse here. But again, the enemy team has a E100, they got a WT, and a T57 Heavy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the power. I'm going to drive straight across as long as my team supports me, which it looks like they will. I'm going to say heavies, let's do this correct, support me. And I'm literally going to drive straight past the bridge, and hopefully this will work well. So we got the WT spotted already. Let's get a big ol' shell into him. There you go. Nice shot. And this is exactly what you want to do in the mouse. I'm going to use all of that speed and power that you have in the vehicle. There you go. Nice bounces all around. Let's get a nice shot into that 57 Heavy. Back up now. And while we were hit once, hopefully my heavies are going to support me here, as I am doing all of the dirty work for them currently. Let's get another shell into the 57 Heavies. That's our second shot now. Look at all the bounces we've done. Already 2,970 damage blocked this game. We've been able to sit pretty much out in the open here, trying to block shells all night. And let's see if we can get a nice tap into the E100 turret. There you go. Well, he was able to heat us. This is what I'm talking about. Let's push E100. I believe in you. Yes. Okay, so this is more like it. I want to push with this E100 right onto the enemy opponents. We got the 57 once again. Let's aim it on his turret. Boom, beautiful shell, finishing another big chunk of his HP off. The E100 shot a heat shell like a doofus right into the fence. So again, I've been able to weigh the tide of this battle massively for the favor of the mouse. And the reason for that being, of course, is because I'm playing the tank correctly. I am pushing it out in the open. I'm taking shots for the team, and while we have taken a lot of shells, and hopefully my E100 and other tanks will take some more shells for me, because as you can see, I'm not super healthy anymore. I have taken a lot of shells in my tank for, not necessarily the most damage back, and yes, we were hit in the vehicle. I will say that I wish my E100 did take a couple more shells from me here. We were able to severely change the course of this game. Our heavies now have a massive hit point advantage on the heavy side, our full health E100 here, and sadly, while my teammate did get very, very quickly taken out, we are still very healthy on the E100 side. Hopefully he's going to be able to finish off. Oh, gee, yeah. That's not great. But again, as I said, we got the WT pushing up behind, and while I was taken out, sadly, I did want my team to support me a little bit more. We did do a very, very strong job this battle. Hopefully this E100 is going to be able to get a big old shell into the 57's turret. Come on. Yes, finishing him off. Looks like shooting an HE shell. Sheridan bouncing the side of a... not messing this up. A T92 one bouncing the side of a Sheridan, but as you can see, we're still going to win the game. We did a good job. We were able to carry the tides, at least, of the heavy tanks, and it looks like we should be coming out with a very, very clear victory. There you go. Boom. Big shell coming in from our, it looks like our WT into the Sheridan, and hopefully this T92 one. There you go. Another big old snap, and it looks like our Leopard is going to finish off the game. So there you go. That was a good victory. We were able to change the course of that battle for our team because I made that aggressive push. We were able to get our heavies and our tank destroyers like the WT that was over on the heavy side. And by the way, we still did a very impressive amount of damage at 3,185. But the thing that caused us to win that game most likely is my tank to push over that heavy side spot, bounce. What was that? Let's see how much damage we did block that game. We received a lot of shells, and that's what you want to do in a super heavy. Is even though we didn't survive that game, you want to take the shots for your team. We blocked 2,970 damage that battle. It looks like, yeah. That's still very impressive. So half the shells we received bounced, and we were able to cause our team to come in victory by our mediums being able to hold the flank, and our heavies, after dealing with their heavies, being able to shoot the enemy team as well. So as you can see, the mouse is still strong, and it will always be strong. If you know how to push, and if you read the enemy lineup correctly, you will be able to weigh all of your battles to victories, as long as you do it the right way. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. As always, if you did, and you do love your mouse, I would definitely suggest to pull it out, because it is such a strong tier 10 heavy currently because of the hit points, the amount of damage it deals per shot, and just the sheer strength of pushing aggressive on the heavy side. Now, that does not mean YOLO rush without your team, because as you saw, I still died pretty quickly. My E100, I really wanted to just full push with me. I wanted him to take a front line and just tank all the shells, and we could have easily smashed them. But sadly, the E100 stayed a little bit more passive. He's probably newer to the game, maybe. We're going to find out. Yes, he is newer to the game, and also not necessarily the best of players. So, yeah, sometimes you trust your teammates and they let you down, but that's not the worst thing on the planet. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did and you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But other than that, hopefully all of you are doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, to be seeing you in the next one.